our recommendation session. I would like to request our director, Ms. Nandini Sahai, and Mr. Rajeshwar Dayan to please come on the dais.
Good afternoon and welcome to the last session that we are doing. This is the recommendations that we want to compile of all the sessions, and I think we've had recommendations which have been already compiled.
The first session, coverage of women in media, dismal and disappointing. The recommendations are rules and regulation on projection of women in TV serials and advertisements.
These are general recommendations. Yes. No, you're reading out the ones which we have put in the bag, or the ones which have been said in this.
Once it's been said during the session, these are all the general, like everything been compiled in one. So I'll just read out all together.
Don't mention the theme.
Okay,
So I'll just read out.
I thought you did it session wise.
Rules and regulation on projection of women in TV serials and advertisement. While reporting on women's issues, especially rape and sexual assault, the focus should be on the culprit and not on the victim. There should be training to the journalist for gender positive reporting. Creating more opportunities for women in media to take up the decision making role and bring more women at top level. To remove all obstacles and hindrance to bring them at the top level, especially like providing maternity leave and childcare leave and other provisions like hostel facility and transport. Attitude needs to be changed, male employees towards his female colleagues and also in families. Sensitization is required in media and other bodies like Child Committee and Social Welfare Department of State Government, as well as all government and non-government organizations related to women's issue. State should have a media policy, that's state media policy. Objective reporting of women's issues. Women's journalists should be covering women's issues and achievements. News regarding women's issues should not be sensationalized. Positive reporting not only for the media, but everyone should follow it.
See, the role of the state in terms of funding programs beside NGOs and other agencies, I think that has to be emphasized. So statutory bodies like the Women's Commission, Department of Women and Child, and Information and Publicity, these three departments, these agencies need to come into the picture of,
Sensitization.
in the sensitization process. So,
So, but sensitize their own staff or?
No. Sensitizing the media. See, the point here is that we are talking about sensitizing and we are putting the onus only on the media houses and let's say the NGO sector or civil society. But we are saying there has to be a state component in this process.
Yes.
So, budget allocation must be there and together with that, it could automatically percolate on the issue of, media studies. So, in that Goa University, Center for Women's Studies of Goa University, all these allied agencies then come into the picture. Because if we don't involve the Higher Secondary Board, we don't involve the Department of Higher Education and all these points, then we are not providing an opportunity for youngsters, to get sensitized in the process. So, media and then those who are going towards media, who are looking at it as a career or whatever. Director of Health Services is running half-day sensitization program for journalists on health-related issues. So if that can happen in their conference hall, totally supported by the department. So
I think it is a mandatory for all departments, even if it is agriculture department or any department, that the staff and the officers should be sensitized about gender issues. Sensitizing about gender issues is mandatory now. So every aspect, anything that we take up in the government has to have a gender angle to it. When we are preparing the budget also, there has to be a gender budgeting. So this is mandatory, but you are right actually that involving the concerned department like women and child development departments for sensitizing the media people, no, it will add to the strength of the process itself. But the most important thing is, as Mr. Kamath pointed out, that media houses have to be sensitized at two levels. One is the editor level. Now, when we are talking about gender discrimination in media, it is the editor who takes the final call as to what goes into the media and what happens to his or her staff. Okay, so editors level sensitization is important, and then these budding journalists, before they enter the profession, they need to be sensitized about the gender aspect. You know, I was with Indian Institute of Mass Communication for a long time, and we used to have these trainees from allied services of IAS, and they used to be inducted finally as Indian Information Service people. So, before they used to go out after about 15 months of training, we used to give them a sort of a comprehensive 3 days training in gender, portrayal of women in media, so-called gender sensitization. And at that time, we used to use a kit. There was a special kit prepared by an organization based in Singapore, AMIC, of which Nandini was the country director at one time. AMIC had produced a kit which of course gave examples as to how to write which is gender sensitive. Now there are people who are concerned about women's issues, but instead of doing giving them any benefit, they do a lot more harm. But they feel that they are. We remember one of the proprietor, editor of a newspaper in Rajasthan. We invited him as a keynote speaker on this Women in Media seminar. And he said, yes, I'm very concerned about my female employees, but once they get married, they should stay back at home. I mean, in his own opinion, he was concerned about women, but his mindset, he was not properly gender sensitized. And he's the owner. So gender sensitization at two levels, editor's level and at as you pointed out, school level or whatever, whenever they are getting a training.
I would also add editor owner, because now these days owners are only editors, you know.
They are editors owners, yes. They need to be sensitized.
Another point that I wanted to make was that we have in Goa Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Even they could be included because as far as the girl child is concerned, so that department is also there. Yeah.
Right.
Like child welfare committees are there. The provisions are there in those committees to sensitize. It is there.
With one recommendation which I found from the panelists in the last session was about the kind of alternate package of serials. So content workshops on content. I think is
For whom?
For whom? I don't know. Any kind of
Workshop.
no. I'm not saying workshops, but what I'm saying is the sensitization that has to happen in terms of we have talked a lot about the reporting part, but as far as the electronic media is concerned, I really don't know if there's anything put together for them.
that if anything is not commercial and it doesn't give them money, they will not do it. So if something like this, when you're going to be gender sensitive,
There is.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm talking Goa specific. See, the channels today in Goa are opening out to programs. See, let's take Prudent Media, Goa 365. These channels are ready to run a half an hour, 1 hour program. If there's of course a sponsor for that time. The question here is content which has to go into these serials. These small programs. So what I'm saying is that if there are program, a workshop or whatever, to create the content for this kind of reporting. Let's take crimes against women in Goa. In the last 5 years or whatever, when you put together a program and address the issues that are coming across with these crimes, if that documentary or whatever would have to go on cable channels, then content is required, guidance is required, and that's what I'm saying we need to do, because right now whatever we've talked about is what we are looking on national television. Most of the serials what we have talked about in here is about, but there is a developing space in Goa which I think we should address. They may be stretched for funds, but whether you take Prudent Media in Goa 365, these are channels which hopefully will there are 24-hour channels. Many of them I see are repeating programs because they don't have content. So if we are looking at creating this content, I think this is one area that needs to be addressed. Who should do it, how it should be done, one would have to explore.
Roland, I would add, they don't spend on content. They run.
Number one. Number two, Goan local channels might be having slots or space, like you said, on a subject like gender issues. It's an expensive business. The local TV channel.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that this workshop could then scout and look at who came to Goa last year. We have a local population of 14 lakhs, 1.4 million. All other channels will run programs here, will take over the spaces. What are we going to do therefore? And then we will come back to the same question. So my point is that there are colleges which are opening up to media studies. There are already colleges which are offering courses. So my point here would be, if we address the content issue, we can address the local slots or local channels, local media opportunities. That's what I'm saying in terms of electronic media.
Maybe we could, in this way, ICG could hold workshops over here for content development. You know?
Let us see what
And let's see.
And the one point I thought which came out in the morning about this, complaints and providing feedback to the media. I think that we need to work this out as a recommendation. How do newspapers or even channels have a feedback facility which people can give them regarding the kind of wrong reporting or biased reporting?
They have that ombudsman.
Yes, so what Prakash shared in the morning was about the Hindu earlier Times of India. Can we develop that for the Goan media? Some kind of feedback mechanism where people can, women's organizations, or student councils from the colleges who want to give feedback and general public about the way, gender reporting has taken place.
For instance, Nandini.
Have an ombudsman. I think we should push for that.
So can we have that format which is used elsewhere circulated here?
Yeah. Just an ombudsman, somebody from
Hindu
has it.
ombudsman.
Hindu has it.
What I'm saying is, as part of the workshop follow-up, we can just get this and circulate it to everybody so they know how it works.
Push for an ombudsman for all the newspapers. Any other?
And especially YouTube and all, I have a lot which I download in every subject. Now the problem is the language. Most of the documentaries are in English, and it's said that all, when you go to the village level and the documentary is well documented, but you cannot relate it to the community. So if there is a software that could be, it's more cheaper than trying to work out, because the cost is huge in trying to even make. There are a lot of dedicated NGOs and filmmakers have actually come up with good movies which will really transform the mindset of the people. And it's not required, it's educational. Like I watched the movie Home. It's beautiful.
But can you translate or dub?
Yeah, another problem is some of the programs which come on National Geography now, they are doing it in Hindi. Now we could do it in Konkani, Marathi, because that's the only way you could actually bring a good program to the community.
Your point is absolutely right. That if it is dubbed in Konkani language, it will be more useful.
Yes.
But the person with the producer of the documentary, you have to get his or her permission.
Yes.
These are already been put on net. YouTube they're free to download. It's been given to you. You're not paying for them.
No, you are not paying, but I think...
But there are some which are restricted where you have to take the permission.
No, I don't think you can twist it by dubbing it in another language and using it as without their permission.
Like for the movie Home, you could watch that in German language, any language. You just go and change the language as you wish.
That is option given by the producer.
Software. We are not changing the content of the documentary. It's only the language.
I agree with you. here, but the point is that the producer has already provided that facility.
So if we have that,
If content is also there from the producer's end, then you can use it. But in case that is not there, and you just want to dub it into your own language and then start showing it in public, you are liable to be
Copyright, all that.
It's a copyright problem. So, but your point is valid. I mean, there's a whole lot of material available.
related to every subject, you don't really have to break your head, but it's good that you have workshops and you use this tool at the beginning. Because to get a quality out of a documentary is very much, because today media has got so advanced and it's said that we are just on a starter. There's a lot to do in media and the quality of education is very low.
Regarding regressive portrayal of women in television, and you talked about TV serials in national, so-called national channels, channels which are popular all over the country. For instance, our serials are popular in Sri Lanka also. The Sri Lankan children speak Hindi. We just had a conference with India, Bangladesh and Myanmar. And people in Myanmar, they say that our youngsters or young children are growing up watching these Hindi serials. And they speak Hindi more than their own language. So about this aggressive portrayal of women, there is a body called Broadcast Content Complaint Cell. And it is headed by Justice A.P. Shah. So if you have it, and that you will see in every program, it runs, that scroll goes around, and it says that if you have any complaint about the content of that serial or that particular episode, please write to this Broadcast Content Complaint Cell. I don't know how many people have written to Justice Shah because the serials continue to be the same. There is absolutely no change in the style and format. It's a particular magical formula which they have devised. And on every serial they use the same kind of, on every channel and every serial they use the same formula. But there is a body, Broadcast Content Complaint Cell. There is another experiment which we in our foundation have done some time ago. We started a viewers forum. For instance, you can have a viewers forum in Goa. Some 20 people can become members. And you can start watching some serials, make your observations, and then you can write to Broadcast Complaint Cell. If there is a viewers forum which is set up, and if you have serious problems with some of the channels, with some of the TV serials, as a forum, as an individual it becomes difficult. But as a forum, I think your voice will carry more weight. So we started this viewers forum in Lucknow, and for about 6 months we monitored this forum monitored some of the program, and then the producers, including the famous Ekta Kapoor, was called for a discussion. And some feedback was given to them that, look, this is what the viewers feel. You can do your best, but since we are living in an era where media is totally market driven and commercially driven, your voice can go to only a limited extent. But we need to do this. If you set up viewers forum and you have objection about some of the programs, you can write to this broadcast forum.
Just I will add to that, in Goa, fortunately, recently there is an initiative called Letter Writers Forum, which has taken place precisely because newspapers have been just ignoring your views, or they are editing your letters like anything, they are messing up with your letters. Many people have grievances about letters, and the letters column themselves have shrunk so much that people simply don't feel that use of writing. That is how it is happening, and then they are complaining that people don't write. So that is why this forum has been set up recently. We will have to find out.
Prakash, I'd just like to say one thing. Since Guj is part of this program, could Guj take the responsibility to see that a lot of the grievance mechanisms that we have talked about here, including the Broadcast Content Complaint Cell, there could be a write-up about it in the print media, saying that this is what it does, this is the contact address, and viewers are requested or motivated enough to file their reports. You see, because that's one way we can have an exchange. You see, I know this is running on the serial, but
no, it's very difficult to read that actually. Not many people can read this forum. This should be formalized.
Yes.
And
Sir, adding on to that about the viewers forum, you said like for All India Radio, and they do the listeners research, and they then make the programs how they want, the regional they want, Konkani they want more, Marathi they want more, which language. I am working for more than 18 years for All India Radio and Doordarshan as a national channel, and what we speak and the content we give on air, we have the guidelines what not to be spoken, what not to be shown on DD line, and some of the programs like health, we have to give ads regarding the polios and something we have to give. Regarding the national programs, if you see now also who doesn't have the cable, they have the clean image of this all the programs because they are not exploited but since when cable is come, since then all the picture is spoiled, like because they are private and they don't have any guidelines what to show and what not to show. Like how national channel and All India Radio, Akashvani and Doordarshan, they have all the guidelines, rules, regulations. So how they have these guidelines, like it should be like for the private, so that they should what they show, and they should, somebody should keep watch on what they show and what they talk, like on private. Like FM Rainbow, if you listen to radio, All India radios, it is totally different, the language and the programs. You have to give all the programs. Whereas Radio Mirchi and we give you see, it will be total whatever they want language and whatever music is played. Like national television, it is totally different, and like cable, what you see the serials are totally different. So they have guidelines for the All India Radio and Doordarshan. They have the governing body and somebody. It should be for the others also.
See, there is a difference between public service broadcasting and private broadcasting. All India Radio and Doordarshan are public broadcasters. They are run by public money. They are not private ventures, though they are also into this rat race.
But some guidelines or some rules and regulations
see,
should be there for them.
I was associated with All India Radio and Doordarshan for a long time, and I have done their evaluation also, basically. And there was a committee called Joshi Committee Report, if you remember, long back, which had drawn up these guidelines as to how the programs have to be run on All India Radio and basically for television. That's the Joshi. So they have guidelines, and public service broadcasting organizations, and they have to follow those rules. And
these channels also follow the same guidelines. I think it will be some
see, for them, they don't have any audience research wing. All India Radio and Doordarshan, they almost have more than 20 audience research officers all over India who are conducting this regular research and getting feedback from their listeners and viewers, and then making corrections in their programs. Private broadcasters don't have to bother about this. They don't care. For them, what is important is the number of eyeballs they can catch.
And the ads.
And the ads they get. For getting that, whatever sells will be shown.
There is something about quality of Doordarshan that people, there is a choice they watch. I don't know what is the difference, but when you see the Doordarshan, it's
Now also programs.
They are wholesome, but then they become bland.
I think the quality
have your choice.
production qualities are
Doordarshan
No,
doesn't.
I don't mean content bland.
Color. You
There's
want
something about that presentation that doesn't,
No,
I don't know what is the difference.
the difference is, one is totally commercial, which invest a lot of money in the production because they get a lot of advertisement revenue. The other is the public service broadcaster, which has a limited budget, doesn't have that kind of commercial revenue.
Make it slick.
That's
So they can't afford those kind of expensive producers and directors. That's the difference.
They can't have a
Besides
Kapoor over there.
Besides that point,
They don't want one.
India is a strange country where public service broadcasting, as you said, is blank or it's not so colorful, it's not. But we are the only country where public service broadcasting is not first choice. Whereas in many countries, people don't have any faith in private broadcasters.
Yeah.
They don't watch their news bulletins also.
Okay.
They don't watch their entertainment program. It is a public service broadcaster.
BBC is a public service broadcaster.
Yes. In Germany, there are private TV channels which are running into huge losses, and people have faith only in the government broadcasting organization.
There isn't anything we can do to set it right.
No, but no, media has become an industry now. It's a different way. It is an industry. People make huge investments, and the idea is to make profits out of this. So to change that circle is
No,
very
but
difficult.
I would agree with
Why don't you give her a mic?
I'll just make one point because I have given my 5-6 points of my first session. One thing I missed out because there is one suggestion which has come from the Times of India Victor. What he was talking is when during this childcare period and all, when the women is going through, instead of making them, take them out of the job and something, so why not we are allowing them to work at home because now new technologies have come and all. So at least we will allow them for 6 months, 1 year period when they are going through that thing. So allowing them to work from home and give their report through the technology or something.
In all professions, it is not possible to work from home.
No, no,
If you are a journalist,
That's the suggestion which has
I
come.
what she says is correct. Big papers do have this provision now.
My opinion was on the TV and radio media, the way it is being broadcasted by the government sector, and it is really bland, so to say. Maybe that is why we do not prefer to see or even listen to it. Maybe if it could have just been made more attractive, doesn't mean that a filth is being introduced in it. With the same clean image, just if an element of creativity is just added onto it and more liveliness, then maybe we would choose for it like any other developed country. We could choose for it and automatically TRP will fall down for the private sector who is into the TV and radio. And this would be a matter of choice which has a very good viewers, as you say, the reporting and all. So the content will be filtered in a very healthy way and it would make a very positive impact on the society. And if funds is a concern, then I would say general citizens are pretty aware, pretty much interested to contribute. So they could portal, which I also mentioned yesterday, they could open up a portal wherein creative content and maybe simply creative presentation on a theme given by them can come from the viewers themselves. They can do some editing and then present the same stuff. This would make the thing more interactive and more viewer friendly.
correct. Good suggestion.
Hello?
More interactive.
I'm missing out on.
We should request the director, ICG, to start a viewers forum and readers forum. Formal. It should be a formula and let some people.
If there is any space left in your calendar.
I have space here to give for a meeting once a month, twice a month or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you actually form a viewers forum? Because even I've got a
That
foundation.
we'll do after lunch.
Okay. Because the guidelines you need in every subject.
Okay, one last suggestion because we are running out of time now, it's 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. So anybody else?
That's the last suggestion.
Yeah, that's the last
That you all are going to offer space for a viewers forum.
Yeah. That is no problem. I can always put anything
You don't need much
which
space.
benefits society. Anything which benefits society.
But I tell you, it is very useful. It was very useful when we started this in Clubhouse. It was extremely useful.
Yeah, one suggestion I would like to make is, many of the programs, Nandini, we come and attend. If it's possible, either on email, to send the recommendations, to those who have come here for participation. And I know that Arjun sent us the emails and mobile numbers. Yeah, of those who were the presenters and panelists, etc. But I'm sure a lot of participants here who have come and participated, I think the interaction needs to carry on. So I would strongly recommend if that can be done. It will be very useful.
Send the recommendations, say if there are any additions, deletions you want to make, kindly let us know.
And also, since you have already compiled the mobile numbers and emails of all the presenters, that can be sent to all the participants on email. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anything else? Thank you so much, and we are extremely grateful to you for attending in such large numbers, both the days, especially on a Saturday and a Sunday. So thank you very much for making this seminar such a success. And I hope we can really do something with it. And this just doesn't remain talk, and we can really do something about it. And we will do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.